All right, here we are talking with head coach Wayne Wagner after a 60-58 overtime win over nationally ranked Grandview University. Wayne, talk a little bit about how big a win this is for your team tonight.
Well, it was a very important win for us. You know, we hadn't been performing as well as we had earlier in the year, the last couple weeks, and you know, I think it was practice and games. We just didn't quite have that edge about us that we had earlier in the year, and we're picking it up a little bit, but certainly a win like this hopefully takes it to another level and gets us back on the right track.
Let's talk a little bit about the matchup between the two of you guys. I mean, obviously Grandview had three guys over 6'10", and I think our biggest guy maybe stretched out at 6'5" or something like that. So they had a bit of an advantage. What do you think the difference was being able to play with a little bit smaller size? Was it shots? Was it speed of the game? What do you think it might have been?
Well, it's the good thing about that is we've had some experience against teams like that. When we played those D2 schools out in Hawaii, they were actually a little bit bigger even than these guys. Not so much height-wise, but they had a little more width to them with the height. So we kind of knew, that it was going to be an inside approach for them, and so we tried to protect ourselves. Instead of thinking it was a man-for-man thing, we had to use our 5 defenders to kind of help discourage post situations. And we've had success with that in other games this year, including in Hawaii and early in the year against UW River Falls. And I felt like that was going to be a game plan that could springboard us a little bit. And we certainly played a really good defensive first half. And I think it built a little confidence in guys offensively, because we certainly been struggling a little bit there too. And it just was good. It was a game plan that we'd been familiar with, and they executed it well and helped us get over the top with a victory today.
Talk a little bit about it. Obviously, was not able to close it out in the regulation. Had a chance to close it out maybe down the stretch. Grandview obviously hit a layup at the buzzer. Were you excited though to see the way the guys responded in overtime and were able to finish it out?
Oh, absolutely. That's one of those things. As we've struggled a little bit, we hadn't been in a lot of late game scenarios, so a lot of different things had to be worked through, talked through, and at the end of the day, the guys had to step up and make some plays, and we made plays to get us to that point, the end of regulation. They came back and made a good play before the clock went out. So to be able to respond from that, because a lot of times momentum goes with that team that made the big play to go to overtime, was big for us. Our guys, we've been struggling, so I think that there was a little bit of a different look in the huddle, like we're going to be okay, and it came from the guys, and that's where it has to come from, and that allowed for them, I think, to respond the right way in that overtime session.
From an observer standpoint myself, it's kind of neat to see some different guys. Jasper Dewberry stepped up. He's been put in the starting rotation the last couple games, and it's neat to see Isaac, who's now coming off the bench. Still, he led you in the game with 19 points, but Jasper, I think, added 10 points and maybe 7 or 8 rebounds as a starting. Is that kind of maybe a role switch there? Is that kind of neat to see some different guys for you making some plays?
Well, you're making me think of an important point that I hadn't even thought of, because we hadn't been with Isaac for basically full strength for 2 weeks now. He missed 2 games with the ankle injury and an illness, and was only spot minutes in another one. So getting him back in a lineup and performing like he did tonight was good. I think it boosted everybody's confidence a little bit. And because Jasper was, kind of forced into that starting role because of that injury, I think his confidence is continuing to grow. So you try to, when things like that happen, you just kind of roll with what's out there and hope that when guys do get healthy again, or you get everybody back in, that everybody's just a little bit better now, because you've had greater responsibilities, and now you can kind of spread that out again. And we clearly are a better team if we get balance in our scoring and get more guys involved that way. So that was another good positive factor tonight.
Now, the schedule doesn't get any easier. You bring St. Ambrose right back here on Wednesday nights, back at home. They're another nationally ranked team. I saw they won again today. You're 3-4 in the league. I believe it's 8-11 overall. Maybe a midway point if you want to look at it a little bit, just because now our second semester starts. Kind of, what are you looking for as you get into that second part of your schedule and you bring St. Ambrose to the gym on Wednesday?
Well, first and foremost, we got to get back to practicing properly. And I think I said this week we had a little better approach there. Without that, it's going to be a struggle. And I think, again, the victory today hopefully will motivate us to come back to the gym the right way. And the point made to the guys afterwards is, now look at this. As bad as things have gotten or can get, you know you still got something you can get done. And certainly with St. Ambrose, that poses another major challenge. And we put ourselves in a position, record-wise, a little bit to be the underdog here, and I kind of like that, and hope our guys kind of relish that role of come out scratching and clawing as a team trying to prove themselves.
Good. Thanks again, Wayne, for your time, and congrats on the big win.